It's hard to believe that we're less than a week away from the premiere of a Game of Thrones prequel show. After Game of Thrones' disastrous final season, however, it seems that no one is really looking forward to this one. I feel that if people had a more comprehensive understanding of this prequel show's context and what exactly it's about, there'd be a lot more optimistic buzz. Today I'm going to be breaking down what exactly House of the Dragon is, as well as how I'm going to be covering the series on this channel. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm Professor of Thrones, and I make videos about A Song of Ice and Fire, the book series from which Game of Thrones is based. I think the key difference between House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones that a lot of people seem to miss is that this show is entirely based on existing source material. The reason why the final season of Game of Thrones failed so miserably is because it was entirely made up by incompetent writers. Since author George R. R. Martin hasn't yet finished and released the last two planned books of the A Song of Ice and Fire series, showrunners Dan and Dave made up the rest of the story. House of the Dragon, on the other hand, is an entirely different beast. Not only are Dan and Dave not involved in the project in any capacity, but the entire story has already been written by the original author George R. R. Martin. You see, House of the Dragon is adapting the last third of Fire and Blood, and A Song of Ice and Fire prequel book written by George. In turn, the team behind House of the Dragon already knows how the story will end, not having to make up their own direction for the narrative. As someone who unabashedly despises the final season of Game of Thrones, this differing context gives me a lot of optimism for House of the Dragon. I feel that if the writers prove themselves to be competent adapters in Season 1, we have a good chance at a good show all the way through. Now you may be wondering what exactly House of the Dragon is about. I'll try my best to give as spoiler-free of a gist as possible. House of the Dragon is set roughly 200 years before the Game of Thrones show, during the height of the Targaryen dynasty's rule over Westeros. The show will cover the build-up to and the unfolding of the Dance of the Dragons, which was a civil war between competing Targaryen factions. King Viserys Targaryen didn't have any sons with his first wife, Aemma Arryn. In turn, he named his daughter Rhaenyra Targaryen heir to the Iron Throne. However, after Aemma died, he took Alicent Hightower as his second wife. She was the daughter of his Hand of the King, Otto Hightower. With Alicent, Viserys ended up having 3 sons. Following the death of King Viserys, Alicent refused to honor his decree that his daughter Rhaenyra be made the new ruler of Westeros. Instead, she pushed forward her son Aegon as king. Many sided with Alicent's efforts, forming the faction known as the Greens. However, others sided with Rhaenyra, forming the faction known as the Blacks, and thus civil war broke out between the Greens and the Blacks. As we watch this war unfold each week, I'll be releasing a weekly episode breakdown video similar to those I released throughout the airing of Seasons 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones. As of now, my plan is to only release one video per week. However, if the inspiration arises, you can expect surprise additional content sprinkled throughout the season. I'm really looking forward to talking about House of the Dragon each week with you all. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. You can find links to my vlog channel, as well as my fiction writing, at my website withkoji.com/@gurnhime. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all next week.